Next one, I want to talk about Hulu. Let's talk about Hulu.
The Hulu.
I'll let you start on that one.
Well, I know Hulu definitely. There are a lot of good deals to get with Hulu. If you're in college, there's a Spotify Hulu student discount where you can get both for $5 a month, which is real sweet. I know Disney, since they own part of Hulu, they have a bundle where you can get Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus. So I think it's $15 a month.
Yep.
And then there's things like Hulu.
13, sorry.
Hulu without ads, and then like Hulu with live TV. So
that's
and then there's a lot of content on it too. Yeah. And even like without live TV, like at least I have found that like if I can't watch something live on TV, like if I missed a new episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine or The Good Place, like it was usually on Hulu in the next like 2 days or so.
That's a good point, because like a lot of the things is like ESPN Plus, which is another one that I think like we could talk about. I don't think it's worth talking about it on here. I don't know if there's an audience here. Yeah, Hulu's
not our audience.
Yeah, Darth Pastel says Hulu's a 10. Hulu has, it has a lot of price options for people. That's a cool thing about it. It is probably the most versatile bundles. You can get it with ESPN and Disney Plus for $13 a month. You can get it with just ESPN Plus for $11 a month. You can get it by itself for $7 a month. You can get a student discount. I think it drops it to like $5 a month or something. You can get it with Spotify, and that's a different price point. Like, there's a lot of really good options for someone to get Hulu. One of the big things for it is it also, in terms of content, is very different than a lot of the ones we've mentioned before. Hulu doesn't, it makes its own content, but it's not its strong suit, right? This is one of the first ones we're getting into where it's a kind of a resale market, so to speak, where it's really taking a lot of live television. Obviously there is Hulu Live, right, or whatever, where you can watch live TV with it. It's a streaming service that's also kind of replacing some of the live TV in that aspect too. I know there's a lot of people that watch like HGTV on there, or me and Brienne watched The Bachelor on there, and like there's like and there's people that watch like reruns of a lot of different types of TV shows. ABC, right? All the ABC shows get put on there. So like, but also, weirdly enough, it has all of that, but it also is one of the best content shares for anime. So if you're an person that's really into anime, it's one of the best places to go for anime, other than Crunchyroll, which is, again, another one we could talk about, but I don't think it's really worth talking about because Crunchyroll is off on its own, and it's probably doing fine because it's not really the same people that serve it. But obviously, for this case, Hulu does well. I worry that its original content's very bad. And
the only like real original show I can think of for Hulu is The Handmaid's Tale, which I haven't watched, but I hear it's very good. That's like the only thing that I can think of.
And Hulu was really good. That was a really good show for Hulu, but it's kind of on its end beats, right? I mean, for the most part, it's like kind of that show's kind of done or dead for the most part. I mean, not really. People aren't really talking about it a lot. So I don't really know much to say about that one, but I'm not so sure. I know that they have, but here's one of the big things is a lot of my biggest fear for Hulu is Hulu uses a lot of reusing of other TV shows stuff, right? And and I worry that if some of them choose to go off on their own, that it could be an issue for Hulu, right? One of the things is like Disney Plus, even though Disney is with Hulu, like owns some of Hulu, like Disney is pulling a lot of its stuff off so they can have exclusive content to pull you over to Disney Plus, and they're investing a lot in that. Right. And then really that's pulling it off from Hulu. Now the benefit is that all of the other things that Disney acquires that Disney doesn't want to put on its platform gets put on Hulu. So that's the benefit to it, right? So like the Fox merger, right, means that we can get all of the Fox X-Men content on there. We can get all of the Fox original movies. We can get all of the Fox TV stuff.
I think they're putting some of that stuff on Disney Plus too, though.
Right, but here's an example, right? Here's an example of an example where it wouldn't go to Disney Plus, but it could get put on on Hulu. Deadpool, Logan.
Yeah.
Right? Those shows people are going to want access to, but Disney's never going to put it on its platform. For one, it's confusing. Yeah. And for two, it's rated R, and they're not going to put rated R content on Disney Plus. That's just the way it is.
I was speaking more towards, like, you know, the other X-Men movies and the Fantastic Four. I believe they're on Disney Plus. I'm not sure, though.
I actually don't know. I don't think they are, but I haven't been on in a while, so I could easily be wrong. That's the thing. And GB Crash, the only reason I subbed
the Simpsons is on there, so like.
Yeah, Darth Pascal. I'm actually curious. You put Hulu as a 10. I'm curious why you think Hulu's going to survive that well. I think
because yes, shares.
Yeah, shares. I think Hulu. The more I talk about it, the more I have a little more faith in it, just because of its ties to Disney. Disney's going to put everything it doesn't want on its Disney brand over there. That's a lot of content. Obviously, ABC is owned by Disney, so that's a good one. Fox is owned by Disney, so that's a good one. There's a couple other ones. And their anime they're stacked with anime stuff. They cater to a lot of different markets. And so it kind of hits every other market niche that Disney Plus doesn't. So I actually think it's going to do pretty well. So I'm actually going to put it above Netflix. I'm going to put it at a 7 for Hulu. I was actually coming into it, I was going to give it a 5, but I've moved it up. I think it's actually going to do better than Netflix.
I'm probably going to put it at like a 6.5.
Oh, we're getting into decimals now.
Just because, just with a lot of these services, like, I'm looking for more original content, and like, aside from Handmaid's Tale, I haven't really seen that from
Hulu. Right, and for some people, that's a really big deal. I think, I think Hulu's is in every man's streaming service, and that's kind of the reason I think stick with it, is just because I think it's got something that it feeds a family really well, you know?
I'll bump it back up to a whole 7, just taking into consideration all the different, like, forms it comes in, like, in the ways you can get